Hello everyone, welcome to our class. And for this time, let's discuss about local history as a subdiscipline of history. So, I believe you already know the definition of what is history. We also have national history, and of course, we will have also local history. So, this is an example of a local history. Local history in Mindanao. No, there is an article here. You could see this article. Um, Local history has its very roots in culture, traditions in a specific place or locale. Okay, culture is also essential to understand the evolving ways of the life of the people. As history is concerned, our past is a reflection of our situation today. So take note of that one. No, culture definitely reflects history. The same with culture, we have evolved into who we are today because of culture that changes and adapts over the years. So take note that our culture is really adaptive and evolving over time. And with that, also, the way our history is being written is also being changed, no, because of this adaptation, because of this how can I say it, paradigm shift, kumbaga, no. Hence, culture and history come hand in hand together, as when we understand a culture, we also need to understand its historical context. So for us to understand culture, we have to understand how it came up to be like that. So we have to really go back to its historical roots and origins, and vis-a-vis, no, or vice versa. So we have the RA 10066, or the National Heritage Act of 2009. This preserves, conserves, and promote the nation's cultural heritage, property, and histories, and the ethnicity of local communities, establishing and strengthening cultural institutions and the protection of cultural workers, and ensuring the professional development and well-being. So we have this act that will help, that will help protect the sanctity of our history, our local history, no? Our heritage as Davaoenos, our heritage as Mindanaoans, no? Hence, concerning history, the law recognizes that the stories before are a resemblance and reflection of our evolving culture. Okay, so kindly please take note of that one. Okay, local history study helps us to understand a particular community or a smaller unit of geography. It is a discipline, a sub-discipline of history. It is history from within. Moving into more into what's happening in a community, what is within us, within a particular place or denomination or population, that is local history. It deals with local institutions, groups, hometown heroes, local events, local economies, and more. So again, it is more specific, more dynamic, and it really provides us the details of the history of culture, religion, nature, traditions of a particular geographic locality. So, meron tayong iba't ibang mga local history sa Davao, local history sa Cebu, local history sa Manila, local history ng Quezon, no? At saka yung mga provinces din natin. At the same time, it's part also of our heritage, our national heritage that needed to be protected. Not only this, but also it portrays a vivid picture of the behavior of the inhabitants of a particular geographic locality and their lifestyle. So, in-depth analysis also of a certain locality, also provided by local history. It also facilitates a historical narratives which emanates the Philippine culture. And also, it balances the nationalistic tendencies by showing the peculiarities in a certain locale, in a particular region or content. So, with this, there is historical awareness, no, where it is rooted deeply. Okay, so what are the sources of local history? We discussed before about the primary sources. We also have the some sources of local history. We also have archives, research reports, reviews, literature, news and journals, the articles, narrative interviews, field interviews, also focus group discussion, or known as oral history. It can be a source, no? Okay, and now let's proceed with problems with oral history. What can be a potential problem or threat in developing or in evaluating oral history, there could be biases, personal biases, due to some personal experiences towards the event. Some narrative can be subjective and not objective, and that is very detrimental, no, for us to really understand, for us to really know what really happened on that particular place or locality. Memory of the history might change. Well, perhaps I can say that some textbook had really changed over time, the context, no? And also psychosocial effect. What I mean by psychosocial effect, it has an impact, no, on the way people view our history, or somehow how the particular event had occurred. There could be potential bipolarities, or iba-iba yung mga pananaw ng mga tao-tao, at minsan nag-aaway-away sila, may mga conflicts na nangyayari, no? And it could potentially arise towards debates and conflicts. To always reiterate, it must be evaluated intensively. What we heard from news, what we heard from politicians, what we heard from radios, from news, or kung ano man, we should always be more critical, no, and level-headed. We should make it more valid and objective, hence giving a concrete reflection of the historical event. Okay, so take note of that one. When we say pseudo-history, it is a form of pseudo-scholarship which attempts to distort or misrepresent the historical record, which often by employing methods resembling those used in scholarly historical research. So ito yung sinabi ko kanina, it is a form of manipulating what really occurred, what really happened, hence it avoids the realness or the validity of what really occurred on that particular time period. And that will be all on my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.